Hey everybody, this is Mr. Ainsworth, and we're going to get into our fourth lesson here in number theory unit here. We called it number theory. And we're going to talk about how to subtract from left to right with no borrowing, which is contrary to how you learned in grade school. Okay, so like I said before in my previous lessons, I want you to think outside the box, be open-minded, and try to learn something new. And don't do it the way you did before, because that's not going to be, that's not the way you're going to improve and get faster and be able to do things mentally, without paper and pencil and without a calculator, okay? So try to be open-minded when you see things like this, because this is not how you were taught when you're in third and fourth grade. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of new things. So here we go. All right, example one. Let's take 53 minus 38 and go through the technique here. Now in grade school, they would have you borrow one from the 5 and make it, carry it over and make it 13 and then subtract, starting with the units digits. Okay, I don't want you to borrow, and I don't want you to work from right to left. I want you to start by taking 53 and subtracting 38 in pieces. All right, so what I want you guys to do is notice that 53 minus 38 can be written another way. So I'm going to take 53, and instead of subtracting 38, I'm going to subtract 30 first and then 8. So minus 30 and then minus 8. Believe it or not, that's the same thing as subtracting 38, right? Because 30 plus 8 is 38. So you just subtract the pieces of it, okay? And it's easier that way because if you think about it, 53 minus 30, that's easy because 50 minus 30 is 20. So 53 minus 30 is 23. And then all you have to do is subtract 8 after that. So if you have 23 and you want to subtract 8, you've got to be under 23. It's got to be 15. Why? Because 8 and 5 is 13 plus 10 is 23. All right, so we're going to be working from left to right, okay, left to right, starting with the tens digit here. So you subtract the tens digit first, and then you subtract the units digit from left to right. All right, you break it up into pieces. All right, now if one example is usually not enough, so let me show you one more time. Let's take 74, let's say, and minus 49. Let's do that. Okay, there's all kinds of ways to do that, but instead of working with the units digit and borrowing from the 7, that's not allowed right now. We're going to learn a faster, easier way. We're going to take 74, subtract 40, subtract 9. All right, that's easier because 70 minus 40 is 30. 7 minus 4 is 3, so 70 minus 40 is 30. So 74 minus 40 must be 34, and then all you have to do is subtract 9 after that. Most people in their head can take 74 minus 40 and get 34. That shouldn't be that hard. Now, if you have 34 and you still have to subtract 9, then the answer's got to be below 30, right? It's got to be 25. Why? Because 5 and 9 is 14 plus 20 is 34. All right, I know it has to end in a 5 because 9 and 5 is 14. And I noticed that we have 34 there. So you just have to be good with previous techniques and, good with basic subtraction in general. And that's what I mean by taking 9 from 34. You get 25. If you want to do it the old-fashioned way, 74 minus 49 and borrow, all right, here you're going to get the same result, okay? But this is the old way. All right? This is not how people that compute mentally quickly without paper and pencil do it. All right? So we don't want to do it this way. All right, not anymore. We don't want to work from right to left. All right, with borrowing, we want to work from left to right with no borrowing. It's faster, it's easier, and when you get good at it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's try just a couple more examples, okay? Especially since I'm not with you here today, okay? We're not live in class. So example 3. All right, let's take I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go here. So 86 minus 58. Okay, so we're going to take 86. We're going to subtract 50 first because that 5 is in the tens place, so it's really 50. So you're going to minus 50 first and then minus the 8. Oops, got to write 8. All right, so 58 can be broken up into pieces, 50 and 8. So subtract one piece at a time, starting with a tens digit, left to right. Okay, now 80 minus 50 is 30, so 86 minus 50 is 36. Now 36 minus 8 has got to be under 30. You got to be in the 20s. So you know the answer is 20-something. And it's got to end with an 8 because 8 and 8 is 16, so it's got to be 28. So 8 and 8 is 16 plus 20 is 36, so I know my answer is right. So what you want to do is do it in pieces. All right, one more time before we have you guys try it, since I'm not with you here today. So one last time. All right, so on this one here, let's just make up some new numbers here. Oops, sorry, excuse me, I'm getting a little crazy with the mouse here. There we go. All right, so let's try, I don't know, 57, subtract, let's go 29, okay? So we're going to take 57, subtract the 20 first, and then subtract the 9. You're going to break up the 29 into two pieces. You're always going to do that, and you're going to work from left to right. So you take 57 minus 20, that should be easy. 50 minus 20 is 30, so 57 minus 20 is 37. But you still have to subtract the 9. And if you think about it, 37 minus 9, well, that's got to be under 30, right? Because you're taking away more than 7, so you got to be under 30. You got to be in the 20s. So you know the answer is 20-something. 20 what, you may ask? Okay, well, it's got to end with an 8 because 8 and 9 is 17, and the number ends with 7. All right, so it's got to be 28. You can always use your fingers, but using a little bit of number sense helps out. It's usually faster, too, than using your fingers. And that's all there is to it. You want to subtract it in pieces. All right? So no borrowing and no right to left. We want to work from left to right and subtract the 29 into pieces, 20 and 9, one at a time. Subtract the 20 first, and then subtract the 9. That's all there is to it. Okay? Now let's pass out the practice on lesson 4. And then when you're done with that, after you do the group check, and then you can go into lesson 5. And I'll see you in my next lesson on 5. Bye-bye.